All right, Roxstars. So I have a doctor's appointment today, and work has been crazy stressful, very busy, a lot of craziness today. So your girl's stress level is way up here, and I know you can't even see my hand. I gotta hurry up and get through this top of the blogs. Didn't want to save it till tomorrow because I want to be done with it and have my weekend to myself. So we got a lot of subjects. I'm gonna try to limit each one to 3 minutes. You guys. I know y'all don't think I can do it, but bitch, I'm gonna do it today. I promise you. Y'all have faith in me. I gotta get through this. So with that being said, this is just a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. Bitch, and I done had my coffee today and some damn bananas. So my potassium level is high, my caffeine level is high. I'm ready for y'all ass. First story up, Tamar and Vince. Saturday evening, there was a call to 911 by a gentleman, and he simply said that there was a domestic violence incident at the Ritz-Carlton and no ambulance was needed, no fire was needed. However, police attendance was requested. He also said that the people involved was Tamar Braxton and her husband, Vincent Herbert. Evidently, Vincent Herbert had bitten her on the hand and had already left the hotel. However, they wanted to place a report. Of course, because these two are two celebrities, that story didn't stay quiet for long. There was some little bit of talk about it on Saturday evening, but by Monday, the shit had blown wide open, and it was all over the blogs that Tamar and Vince had gotten into a fight and that he had bitten her. The Bronner Brothers convention was this past weekend. It's a big hair show out here in Atlanta. They have 2 a year. However, the one in August is the big one. And Tamar Braxton was contracted, I suppose, to perform at the hair battle that they have on Sunday night. She couldn't get out of it, obviously, or she didn't want to. She didn't try. I'm not sure what happened there. However, she was there Sunday night, and she handled what she needed to handle. But then, like I said, the very next day, the shit blew wide open. I don't know what's going on with these two, but I'll tell you what, where there's smoke, there's fire. There's been too many stories about Tamar and Vince in the blogs of the negative sort. Now, not necessarily just because, you know, this is not just little hearsay about different things, just trying to keep the buzz up about their shows and the different projects that they're involved in, but this has been some shit about their actual relationship and the strain that has been placed on it because of a number of things. Most recently, the firing from the show The Real, okay, and now they're saying that there's some recent strife in the relationship because Tamar Braxton dropped her entire team management wise and went on to pick up Steve Harvey's manager, Rashawn McDonald, okay? And you guys have heard his name plenty of times. Steve Harvey talks about him a lot. Now, Tamar Braxton's old manager, we all know, was Vincent Herbert, which was her husband. And I'm sure there's some conflict there, and maybe that was the best idea. You know, sometimes you just need to separate your relationship from the professional. We see relationships fall apart all the time. Most recently, Mary J. Blige and her husband, Kendu Isaacs, who was also her manager. But in this case, it's just every time you turn around, it's been something about Tamar and Vince, and like I said, it's just not the normal, you know, gossip about their relationship. So I'm going to be willing to say there's something going on there now. Do I want to see them two break up? No, I don't. You relationships, marriages is difficult and it's a lot of work, okay? So when people try to weigh in and say that, you know, she ought to do this, he ought to do that, that's not my thing. What I will say though is, you know, you can't be in a relationship where you fighting. Okay, not physically fighting. And I'm not just talking about regular relationship arguments and things like that, disagreements and all, but when it gets to the point where it's physical like this, okay, motherfuckers just can't be biting on you. Now, I'm sure that there's more to the story. Maybe they fight each other, and maybe there's just hasn't been any blood drawn, no skin broken up until now. But yeah, they you know, I can imagine that the arguments probably get quite heated. We know how Tamar is, even though we don't seem to know how Vince is. I wouldn't put it past him. I'm sure that behind closed doors, there's a lot going on now. People that are close to them are very aware that these two fight all the time. And that's just something that happens in their relationship. Like I said, you can't be doing this kind of shit. Definitely not in public. You are in a hotel. This kind of story you can't keep raps on. Okay, even though the next day they were hand in hand and, you know, TMZ caught up with them and was trying to find out how their relationship was. Look, I'm already at 5 minutes. And, you know, Vincent gave the thumb up. Yeah, I think that there's something going on there. There have been cheating rumors. Like I said, upset about the fact that she changed her management team. And Tamar, in general, just doesn't seem like a happy person. I've always noticed that she's got a group of people around her, but when she's by herself, she just seems by herself. You know, I don't know Tamar Braxton. I don't know anything that goes on with them and that family. You know, her and Vincent, I think at their core, they seem to love each other, but it's a whole bunch of other shit that comes with it. I didn't never think that they should do a reality show for their marriage, because we all know that reality shows is like death to a marriage. Nobody survives a reality show. You know, I just think it's unfortunate they was at this hotel and this shit went down. But yeah, definitely for sure, you can't be biting people, Vincent. Okay? Can't do that, all right? But you can't also be up in people's faces. Folks have limits. Of course, I'm assuming we don't know what happened there, but like I said, we can just kind of try to imagine. I think there's going to be way more to happen with this relationship, unfortunately, but we'll keep our eye on it. But yeah, like I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. Definitely something going on, and not in a good way for Tamar and Vince. Next story up, Meek Mill and Drake. So Drake was in Philadelphia the other day performing on his, you know, Views from the 6th tour. And he made it a point to reignite the beef that we all thought had been put to bed between him and Meek Mill. We know that Philly is Meek Mill's hometown. And it seemed that Drake made it a point to get on stage and say a lot of terrible things about Meek Mill. Called him a pussy, a bitch, you know, all kind of. He was just going on and on. We also saw video that was uploaded from Meek Mill's Dream Chasers squad. They were at the stadium, and I guess they thought that Drake was just going to be walking out of the stadium and that they were going to be able to have a conversation with him and possibly beat his ass for the shit that he had been saying about Meek Mill. This is where, you know, when niggas, you know, they in the hood and they don't really understand how it works. It's a stadium, it's a concert, of course there's security around. They're not going to let anybody get to Drake. It was stupid for them to post that. They had to know that. Maybe they didn't, because, you know, they posted on Instagram that Drake was scared and he had a bunch of people around him and, you know, they couldn't get to him and all of this. Just retarded stupidity. Like one of my Roxstars said on Instagram, where the foolery and fuckery meets the coonery and the niggatry. Okay, I don't know who I'm more disappointed in, the fact that Meek Mill co-signed the fact that they were there and that Drake didn't come out, that those were his boys, even though he didn't say he sent them. I mean, it's his crew, and he's thinking that it's very funny enough for him to post on Instagram how Drake didn't want it with the crew. I'm thinking to myself, like, Meek Mill, why are you involving yourself? But then you have to remember that Meek Mill's street credibility is more important to him than his freedom, obviously. I understand that when you're on the streets and you operating and moving in the streets, then street credibility is important. You got to maintain, because bitch, that's where you do your business. But when you rich, you got a rich girlfriend, you guys doing rich people things, you bought a damn brand new mansion out in Beverly Hills. I don't know if it's brand new, but you know what I'm saying. Why are you even concerning yourself or tying yourself to shit like this on the streets, you guys? Just retarded. I don't understand, Meek Mill. You should show some growth in you, considering that, you know, that you finally off of house arrest and you want to move on with your life. I mean, if you're going to be making a future with Nicki, you're going to be getting a girl married and pregnant and all of that, then why the fuck do you care about motherfuckers beating up, you know, Drake at the damn stadium in Philadelphia? Just stupid. You just, at some point, you have got to grow up and you've got to distance yourself from immature things like this. As long as he keeps involving himself with these kind of things, then he is always going to be in trouble. But let's get back to the damn thing. Now, why did Drake do all of that? Now news comes out that Meek Mill's team, Dream Chasers or whatever, had to put the word out in Philadelphia to all the club owners and everything that they better not support Drake. There better not be any after parties. There better not be any radio interviews. There better not be anything supporting Drake's concert in the town. Okay, when Drake found that out, he got pissed off, and that's why he took it to this next level. Now, I believe that probably happened as well. But we also have to talk to Drake. Like, you know, Drake has won that battle. Let's just put it to bed. It's tired now. It's done. You know, he's going all around and he's kind of taking shots at everybody from the stage. This whole shit with Hot 97 and now the stuff with Meek Mill. It's just like, let's just concentrate, because you are a big rapper and everybody is coming to see you, and we don't want the tour to be all about these beefs that you are, you know, handling from the stage. Now, nobody thinks that Drake is no big time gangster, no kind of gangster in any kind of way. So I would hate for his talk and all this rhetoric that he's spewing would get his ass fucked up somewhere. Because, you know, like I say, even though it's niggas, there's some niggas that take it to heart and will try to find his ass and do something to him. So, you know, it's time to let that go too. All right, let's just move on. Let's just move on, you guys. But yeah, I'm over it. I'm tired of Meek. I'm actually tired of Drake too. Everybody make your fucking money and quit worrying about the next man. Leslie Jones, I don't know who has it out for her, but there's a lot of people that don't want to see Leslie Jones win. Her website was recently hacked. Some nudes were uploaded from her Apple iCloud. I'm telling you guys, that Apple iCloud is the fucking devil. I don't use that shit, and I ain't even no celebrity and stuff. But I just can't put that up there. I don't want a motherfucker to get into my stuff and be pulling that down. You know, you would think that these celebrities, but see, I don't even really understand how the iCloud works. Even when I don't think that I'm involving myself in iCloud, my shit might still already be up there. But when they had this other huge hack back in the past, you would think that the celebrities would have taken their shit down, but like I said, it might be there forever. You just don't even know. But whatever, they hacked into her iCloud, stole these pictures and posted them, and supposedly is of Leslie Jones. I haven't seen the pictures. I didn't even want to try to look for it. There is definitely some sort of campaign to besmirchify, shout out to Don King, Leslie Jones. And you know, it's just ridiculous at this point. Even if you thought that Leslie Jones was not your idea of an attractive black woman, the reasons why people have so much hate for her, I don't understand. This is a woman who is on a TV show, who's trying to make a living like everybody else, who's done movies, who's in commercials, and the hate is unreal. The hate is unreal. She seems to still be winning even on top of that, but who needs the extra stress of having to deal with hackers and somebody doing something to her, and she ain't did shit to nobody. I've been not necessarily the most happy with some of the things that Leslie Jones has written or said or done, but at the end of the day, this is a woman who is doing a job, who's living her life, and somebody is out to get her. The good thing for Leslie Jones is she has a lot of support from people in high places. And it might come down to the fact that she just might have to remove herself from social media just so that she doesn't have to deal with this kind of shit anymore. But yeah, I don't understand. I don't know what Leslie Jones has done to anybody, but she's definitely, somebody is out for her. We just gonna say, Leslie, hold your head up, girl. Like Beyonce said, the best revenge is your paper, right? Well, I would also say success, and that can be in many forms. And as long as she has the support of the big people, like I said, you know, she should be okay. But I feel sorry for her. This shit that's happening to her is uncalled for. Looks like Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa better get their monies together, as they are being sued by the 17 people who were injured at a concert for them in Camden, New Jersey. So they were at the BB&T Pavilion. They have a tour that they're on right now. Evidently, Snoop and Wiz was up on stage, and there was a group of people. There was a large group of people that was on the lawns. I'm not sure exactly how this place is set up, but these people were back on the lawns, and then there's a concrete area where there weren't any people. Snoop Dogg, you know, as he's hyping up the crowd and getting everybody involved, he was like, all you motherfuckers back there on the lawn, come down to the fucking front. Which they all did. It was a stampede, and everybody ran up to the security railing that separated the lawn from this concrete. As everybody stampeded forward, the security railing gave way and 50 people fell 10 feet to this concrete. When I saw the video of it, it looked like it was way more people in that, and I was like, ooh. I mean, it was so bad that I thought that there were going to be some serious, like some deaths from that. No deaths, however. 17 people were injured, and there were broken bones. They said somebody has fractured their spine, and they have all secured lawyers and suing Snoop, Wiz, and the venue, saying that there was a lack of precaution to ensure the safety of the concert goers. I'm not a lawyer and I don't really know how these things works, but I would be willing to bet that somebody is going to have to pay for these 17 people. I think most of it should rely on the venue, but then you also have to remember that Snoop Dogg told them to come forward. Okay, so I think that there's going to be some argument around the fact that they were doing what he said and this is what the result was. My lawyers out there, y'all, let me know what you think about it. But if I was to make a layman's guess, somebody is going to be paying for these injuries. Don't you think so? Guys, follow up from the Olympics. Child, I thought the Olympics was over, but they just won't seem to be over. It's still in the news. First story, of course, we have to talk about Ryan Lochte. Last week, we talked about the fact that we couldn't understand what really happened when they were gone, and he said that they had been robbed. Now, we all know that Ryan Lochte and the rest of his 3 teammates that was with him lied about a robbery. Instead, they were involved in a gas station brawl. I'm not even really sure what was going on there. You basically 4 white boys that was drunk, tearing up shit at this gas station, pulling down the bathroom doors, peeing on the outside, just acting, like your classic white boy fraternity, those type of moves. Anyway, we all know the story now. My thing is about to die. Now we see that Ryan Lochte is paying the price. He's definitely bearing the brunt of the negativity, which I guess he should, considering, he was older than everybody else and he's the big name, he's the star, maybe there was some nervousness about going against what he might have thought was the best course of action. I still will never understand why they didn't just bring their ass back to the damn village and not say shit, but hey, it don't even matter now. He's back. They've been caught. One of them had to pay some money to the Rio government, to the Brazilian government to get the hell up out of there. I'm assuming everybody is back in the United States now. And Ryan Lochte is bearing the brunt of the punishment. He's losing endorsements, Speedo, Ralph Lauren, a bunch of other endorsements, which, everybody else that get caught up in these type of scandals, they lose their shit, so I don't see why Ryan wouldn't lose his either. And it's too bad. He definitely made a mistake that has cost him a whole bunch of money. This kind of shit, we just gonna hope that he learned a lesson and that he's able to recover the best way he can. It still looks like there may be some other punishment from the official U.S. swim team. Maybe he might get suspended or what, but for the life of me, I just don't understand. I don't understand why he did what he did. I guess that's just something between him and his God, right? And social media, because child, they sure do rip a motherfucker apart, but he had to, it was coming. Can't excuse that kind of activity. Gabby Douglas, she had a hard time dealing with what happened at the Olympics and all of the scrutiny that she's had with herself. She talked about how it was very hard to perform and, just the pressure. She not realizing that everybody was watching her so closely when she didn't have her hand over her heart. None of that. She was trying to cause any stir. She just wants to do her gymnastics job. Yeah, we felt sorry for Gabby because you have to remember this is a 19-year-old. Was she 19? No, she's not 19. She's 20. She's 20 years old, I believe. And having the weight of the world on your shoulders, it's just too bad. But Gabby's come out on top. We all want to see her win as a black girl, as a black young girl who is super successful in her field. And the next good news for Gabby Douglas is that she is going to be a judge on the next Miss America pageant. Good for her. Shit be real hot and people be talking about it bad, and then when it's over, then it's over and they move on to something else. So Gabby is gonna be okay. She gonna be fine. You see her now and that girl's hair is laid, honey. Y'all ain't talking about that shit now, because when I look at it, I was like, oh, she just got such nice thick full hair, and honey, now she got it together. Like I said, she's working, she's sweating. It's sweated out. Okay, when you need to be beautiful for a photo shoot or just your regular everyday, then she gonna work that out too. So yeah, hold your head up, Gabby, we got your back. And then lastly, Usain Bolt. Okay, listen, I've told you guys plenty of times, and I know people don't like when I say this kind of thing because it makes it seem like I'm supporting the cheater. But my feeling with this whole Usain Bolt, however fuck you say his name, is this. He is a professional athlete. He is single. Okay, even though he has a girlfriend. He just won all of these awards in Rio. He's a superstar. Did I say it was his birthday? I'm not sure, but if I didn't, it was his birthday, and he's celebrating in Rio, and he's fucking around with whatever woman throws they coochie his way. I don't know why women get with professional athletes when they're at their height like this, because you can't expect them to be faithful when you got all this shit going on. The reality is, most my damn braces, most professional athletes, superstar athletes, cheat. You would hope that they would cheat and not be so out in the open that everybody finds out about it. But the fact that he was so out in the open and doing what he was doing and had to know it was cameras and videos and people taking pictures and all of that, he obviously didn't care. And he's got this girlfriend at home who's a beautiful girl. I'm sure she knows her man. She didn't seem to be all that bothered just knowing, but I'm sure the pressure of social media and everybody saying like, girl, your man is out there running fucking raggedy, going crazy. He got all these bitches, he fucking prostitutes and doing all of this, taking them back to the village and fucking them in some room with a damn single bed. I read that story from the girl who said, you know, he was so nice and he brought her back to this room that was empty with twin bed. I said, do you really think Usain Bolt is sleeping in a fucking twin bed at the Olympics? I shouldn't laugh. I mean, people don't know. But I was just like, girl, I don't see the big deal, only because he's not really married. Okay, of course you should not be cheating on your woman like this and all of that. But I don't get with these niggas when they in their height like that. Let them retire. Let the motherfucker get, you know, old and, you know what I mean? Usain Bolt is just average looking. He ain't ugly, but he ain't cute. But let him get where, you know, maybe some people done kind of forgot about him and don't want him like that. I mean, I'm sure it's always, I'm sure even though when they get older and retired, Bill Russell, Dr. J, you know, Mac, I'm sure they still get shit thrown their way. But when they at their height like this, like, I'm so tired of them stories. I done read stories about groupie tales about Usain Bolt in the past and the shit that he does. You know, so it's not surprising to me. I bet you it ain't surprising to that girlfriend. I mean, either they gonna stay together or they not. Maybe this was his way of just breaking the shit off. But he's a superstar, and he probably gonna get home and, you know, he gonna lick her wounds and say he's sorry, and maybe they'll work it out and all of that. But yeah, I can't get all. What do you guys want me to say? These motherfuckers cheat. Quit being with them if you want them to stay faithful. Get you somebody that don't nobody damn want. Lastly, and quickies, we're going to send a rest in peace up to Antoine Jackson. He was Wendy Williams' wigologist. I don't watch the show, so I didn't know who Antoine Jackson was, but everybody was talking about it the other day. Now, evidently, the 44-year-old was on vacation with his boyfriend, Dante Savoy, and you guys know him from the Kim Kimball show. They were on vacation, they went to Mexico, and then when Antoine got back to the States, he died shortly after that. It was unexpected, and nobody has said exactly why he has passed. They're saying that he did suffer from lupus, but they're not saying that that was what he died from. I mean, you don't die from lupus. I imagine you die from some sort of immune deficiency, or something happens that attacks your immune system and you're not able to fight it off. So Antoine has died. He left behind a 25-year-old son, DeAntoine Jackson. Rest in peace, Antoine Jackson. Baby, I was ready to sit up here and go all the way to fuck off on Creflo Dollar and his recent news that he supported Trump, that God had came to him in a vision, and that he was telling everybody that even though he sent mixed messages to the black people, you know, he thinks that Trump is the best person for the job, and this, that, and the other. Child, I was so annoyed with it. I was just like, now I know this mother ain't, because y'all know Creflo has said some stupid shit. He ain't exempt from some fool of fucking niggotry. And remember the shit that he said about Eddie Long, saying that because if they're men of the cloth and they have such a higher responsibility, that, you know, God gives them a pass basically, and they able to do some shit because they got all this on them, you know, that God kind of gives them a break on it. I was just like, nigga, you ain't gonna tell that to me. So he done gave us that one, and then he also gave us the dramatics about the jet for the church, and how he wanted everybody to put their money in so they can buy a new jet because, for lack of better words, he was sick of the one that they had already. So I almost believed what was going on with Creflo Dollar. However, today he has put a statement out that said he absolutely did not say that. That information that is circulating the blogs came from a satirical website. He has never intended and has no intentions of supporting Donald Trump, and that those claims are 100% false. So that was good to hear, because honey, I was gonna be so through. I mean, I'm kind of through with him already, but that would have been, honey, the nail in the coffin. For those of you guys who care, J-Lo and Casper is broken up. Okay, I didn't even know they were still together. I did hear something the other day that she was pregnant by him, but I was just like, girl, you better not be. I mean, she's 47, he's 29. They break up, they get back together. They gonna both be fine. They're probably gonna end up back together, because that's what they do. Child, I don't care. Frank Ocean's album, I'm sure I'm not gonna be a favorite right now, you guys. I don't like the album. I loved his first album. And this one I can't get into. The shit is too deep for me. You know, like when I hear music, I want to feel good, and I want it to feel good to me. When I hear shit that's depressing, I can't. I mean, I guess you got to be in a certain zone or mood when you listen to Frank Ocean. I try to not put myself there. I almost feel the same way about Lemonade. Like, I just was like, I appreciate the going through shit Beyonce, but I also like the Beyonce that was in love, that sang, you know, the love songs, that sang the you know, we partying songs, you know, single women, and like, I like all that Beyonce too. So you got to be almost in the mood for Lemonade. Lemonade is a good album. I'm not saying that it's not, because it is a good album, but I don't want to hear that kind of shit. Maybe it's just because I'm not at that point right now. And honey, let me tell you something. My son loves Frank Ocean. He loves that CD. He goes around the house, he sings all the shit. I was like, quit singing that old depressing ass bullshit. But I can't get with the Frank Ocean album. Maybe I need to listen to it again, but I don't even have the desire to give it another chance. But maybe I will, okay? Because you guys know that I didn't like Rihanna's album originally, and that shit I loves now, okay? But I can't see myself coming around to that Frank Ocean like that. I might have liked 2 songs on there, but I was in the tub, I was listening to that shit, and I was like, bitch, about to cry. The fuck is going on? You know, so maybe that's a response that he wanted to be. He has a beautiful voice. He can sing. He's talented. You know, he writes good things. But the music, I can't, y'all. Birdman bought his new boo a Bentley truck. Okay, that's right. Tony Braxton has a new $230,000 Bentley truck, and good for Tony. When you sacrifice and lay up under Birdman and let the nigga do his business on you for 30 minutes, you should probably get a fucking Bentley truck too. I mean, they've said stories about Birdman being very generous to the women that he's with. He seems like a nice enough dude when he's in a relationship with somebody, even though they haven't confirmed it. I mean, it's sort of been confirmed now, because motherfuckers don't just give you $230,000 damn cars. Good for Tony. I ain't mad at all. Okay, girl, get what you can. Let's hope that the shit is paid for, though, in cash, and that it's in her name. I guess congrats are in order for Amber Rose, who will be joining the 23rd season of Dancing with the Stars. I think she'll do well in it, okay? And I think this is a good look for her. She was a stripper, she was a dancer, so she obviously can keep the beat. We'll see if they add twerking to the to the competition. They also said that Ryan Lochte is going to be one of the contestants on the show, so maybe this will help his image. It's a good look for both of them, okay? Ryan Lochte needs it, and Amber Rose, you know, she seems to be trying to make the jump over into mainstream, and good for her. So I'm not mad. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that goes. Freaknik. They're trying to bring it back to Atlanta, Georgia, you guys. Listen, they tried this a couple of years ago and it didn't go well, mostly because the Atlanta Police Department will not let them all congregate in one big area to have some shit like that, for it to be all out of control, and they got to go shoot you motherfuckers. So it was spread out all over in Atlanta. They had different clubs that were sponsoring different things for Freaknik, but for the most part it didn't go nothing like it used to. I mean, Freaknik of the 90s is something of legend. My girlfriends Debbie and Simone, they both went to college out this way. They talked about Freaknik and the shit that used to go on there, and I can remember them telling me about it even back in the day, and how much fun it was and what was going on and all. That will never ever 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 happen again in Atlanta or anywhere else, okay? It's not going to go down. I admire the young babies that's trying to bring the shit back, but yeah, no. And then lastly, NeNe, she owes over $800,000. I think they said $830,000 in taxes, back taxes, for just the year 2014. Evidently, that was a very lucrative year for NeNe. She had a lot going on. She was on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was on Dancing with the Stars. You know, she had a lot of shit going on in 2014. So, yeah, you know, IRS... If don't nobody know better than I do, IRS wants their money stat. I'm sure that NeNe and her lawyers will get together with some adjusters at the IRS and negotiate some shit and get a payment plan, or try to pay it all in one lump sum if they can get it down where she can pay it all at once. And maybe it might need to take her whole entire salary for the year, or pretty much maybe 80-75% of her salary from Real Housewives of Atlanta, so she can take care of that bill. But I'm sure they gonna figure it out, you guys. NeNe is not gonna go to jail. They are not gonna put no liens on. She's not gonna let any of that happen. She's gonna take care of her bills, and then she gonna make it happen. You guys, this shit happens all the time. Rich people problems. You and I can't relate. Comes with the territory. Let me get off of here, go do my doctor's appointment, and then get on back to work, okay? We do this every single week. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.